Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Dakota. Today I want to talk about releasing and receiving. And what I mean by that is letting go of something uh, in order to receive something. And when I am talking about the releasing, I'm also kind of talking about and you'll kind of see how this works together, I guess, is protection. And when we, and this is my disclaimer, okay? This is my disclaimer. If you've watched any of my videos, if you've gotten to know me over the course of me doing my videos, or you know me personally, or you've been a student of mine, you know that I tend to work out of the box. And what I mean by that is there's thousands of books out there on the market, and they are written by, a lot of them are written by um, very reputable, um, famous, if you will, reputable authors, whether they're, along the, let's just say pagan path. Okay. So I'm not going to go into all the categories, but let's just pagan as the umbrella term. And you have your favorite author and you're looking for a spell, and or you're reading the book and there's a spell in there and it really just kind of resonates with you. You're like, ooh, I like that. The thing is, do you do it exactly as they said? Because we don't know. The one thing that we really don't know is, did that work? Did that work for that person? And let's just say that it did, or at least they said it did. That would be great. That's fantastic. Now I really want to do this spell, but there's only one thing. The thing is, you're not that person. You're not that person. So what works for one person may not work for the other person. And when I dissect it even a little bit deeper, I always wonder, well, you're an author and that's what you do for a living. So did you just kind of think that out and put it together? Because it's really a good idea. But you never really did it, and that's okay, because that's their job, is to present to you different ways and different ideas of how to do something. But my little niche in there is that they're not me, I'm not them, and we probably, most likely, most definitely think differently. And so I will try to do my own way with my own intention. And especially, if they're using some kind of an herb and you're allergic to that herb, I would highly suggest that you not use that herb because you're allergic to it. Well, now what do you do? That they said you have to use that herb. Well, no, you don't. There's other choices out there. There's other things you can do. And so that's what I mean by getting out of the box. So I have a video, I think I did it about 4 months ago. It's called Protection Bubble. Now, if you haven't watched that video, you might want to watch it. It's just sort of like, kind of goes together with what I'm going to show you today. I have my notes here. I'm going to go over it. So the big disclaimer is, this is just me and this is how I work. This is how my brain works. I have taken, read, taught so many classes, whether I've taught them or they're out there, or books I've read or whatever. Everybody in and they always say, the good thing about witchcraft or being a witch or this pagan path is that there is no right way, and that's true to a point. So so this is just my way, because I have a different way of thinking about things. So I thought, well, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to show you, because this is something that I did for the new year. And while I was doing, it's something that I've done several times for different things. And it just hit me that I wanted to go ahead and show you and give you some ideas. So I'm going to, and it's going to be way off probably the mark of maybe what you've read, what you've heard, what you practice. And the thing is, it's okay, because guess what? You don't have to do it. If you don't like it, if it makes no sense to you at all, then then it doesn't. I mean, then it doesn't, right? So, okay. So let me just look at my notes here real quick. All right. So one of the things that when I started doing this particular spell was someone that was, I'm going to say, they weren't even really my mentor. It was someone. So this is what was said to me. And this is a person that does spell work and stuff for clients. And the one common thing that they found was that everybody is in such a hurry to do a cleansing, to do protection, to build that wall, whether it's, oh, they have negativity in the house, or they have, their partner, there's arguing, or they broke up, or the new person is sending, and or the neighbor's an idiot, and coworkers, there's just all of this chaos. And everybody tends to not everybody, but this is what this person was saying. The majority of the clients, most of them, focusing on the negative that was going on to them. And you can kind of understand that. We don't want to live with just this negativity. But it's really hard to convince somebody to, instead of let's working on that, let's work on positivity, and eventually this goes away. So it's kind of like sympathetic magic. The more negativity that you put out, the more you're going to be confronted with. Sympathetic magic is like attracts like. So if and they're saying, if you do something nice for somebody, somebody's going to be doing something nice for you. Is how it's supposed to go. And if they don't, that's on them. Move on. Like, move on. You know, instead of going, oh, they didn't do anything. Blah. That generates that negative thinking. And anyway, we start out with saging. There's one layer. Then we put salt around the property, or we put the vinegar out, or we grid our house with stones, or with whatever. There's these layers. I carry stones. I do this. I do that. And there's all these layers of protection to keep that energy that isn't serving our highest good, keeping it away. But, if there's something going on in your life that you are trying to manifest, that you need, that you want, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's, I don't know, whatever it is that you're kind of hoping for. Maybe you've already done some magic to manifest that job, or, that relationship, or whatever the case may be, that's going to make you happy. But you have already built this layer of protection. And all of a sudden, one day, a job floats by and goes, I think this person would be right for the job. Boom. They ran right into your wall. You're not going to receive that energy because it cannot get through. The relationship, it can't get through. Those layers, you just have so many layers of protection in this way of thinking. So, yeah, so it's all about removing, protecting, banishing, all of those things. And there's also a thing about, so that's protecting. And then there's also the thing about, I'm releasing. Release those things that don't serve my highest good. And I release these obligations, of being at the Thanksgiving dinner with family I don't like, those types of things. When we talk about emotions, we don't want to release the sadness. We don't want to release those things, because emotions are lessons. They bring about wisdom and growth when we can get through an issue. Hopefully, like let's say it's a breakup, and yeah, it's sad. It's fine. Um, we're going to feel it. Go ahead and feel it, experience it, and then understand the situation, what happened, and then move forward on a positive note instead of protecting yourself from those things happening again. If you already learned your lessons, so chances are you're not going to bring that energy back in, one would hope. um, okay, let's see. And I do work on the sympathetic magic theory a lot through our classes, the class that I teach, um, our 101 class, because it's true. It's really important. Here we are doing magic to try to, we're doing a spell to create something, but at the same time, and we're all protected and all of this. How does that get out? How does that manifest? It might very well manifest in a negative way if we can't change the way we feel about what it is that we're doing. So, all right, let's see. When we work on a removing spell, a releasing spell, we are opening, literally what's happening when you're doing that is you are opening a door. I release this that doesn't serve. Okay, here's I release this that's not serving my highest good. You've opened a door, because if you don't open the door, the energy that is for your highest good can't get in. So that's part of the releasing. And it's releasing should be part of the receiving. And yes, I hear people doing their work. I release that which does not serve my highest good in order for highest good to come through. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. But when we have created a circle of protection around us, then again we're hitting that wall. So that video, Protection Bubble, goes a little bit into that. So we want that negativity to get out. We want we don't want that. It's not serving our highest good. But you do have to have an opening for the new to come in. So the same thing goes with spell work, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And I got a lot of things here, so I am going to move the camera down and I'm going to show you. Be right back. Okay, so here I have my black candle, and I'm using an orange candle today because this is about success and bringing about that good positive energy, creation, passion, luck, all of those things. So this is going to be my receiving, and this is my releasing. Or is it? And that's what we're going to talk about. So I have some sweet orange oil, and I always do my things a little bit differently. So I am just going to put some oils on here, and I'm just going to let it drip down. This is orange oil, which again, it's all about, creativity and luck, success. And then this I'm using cedar wood, and cedar wood is good for protection, and you know, I use cedar wood around the house to help keep the bugs out. So there you go. It works pretty good. I actually like to put cedar chips around the base here at the witch cottage. It works pretty good. All right, so I just, this is how I dressed these particular candles. I did not want to put herbs directly on the candles. So that's how I did that. Okay, I'm looking at my notes again. All right, let's go back over here. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm working this my way. I'm going to start out with this particular black candle, which black tends to be used for protection, right? And however, in saying that, in witchcraft, what I know, what I've read, what I've been taught is, for instance, our athames. The handle is preferably black. We tend to dress in black a lot. Our robes tend to be black. Not always. This is not always 100%. One of the reasons is because black draws energy. It draws that energy into it. So when I think about black and how this is supposed to be for protection, for keeping things away, I also remember that it also is for drawing. And now we can think that this is drawing in the negative energy and keeping it in there. But then again, which is great, but then again, we still want this something else, this positiveness to come to creation, right? So I think about that when I'm doing these spells. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, and we'll get a little bit deeper into this, hopefully. I'm going to use, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? That's not you. That's not you. Where are you? Okay, no, that's not you. Oh, right in front of me. Big jar. How'd I miss it? This is Angelica. And Angelica is for protection. You know, it's used for a lot of things. But one of the things is protection. But it's also good for healing. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go counterclockwise. And I'm just going to lay some down here and kind of put it into a little circle around the base of my black candle. You don't need a lot. Remember, we don't need to, you know, empty a whole jar of herbs on there. Just enough. Just enough. All right. And then the next thing I'm going to use is I have here, I got out of my garden, I have some sprigs of rosemary, which I'm going to, kind of big, aren't they, for my tray? Okay, I'm just going to pick the bottoms off. I'm just going to put those around in a square. No particular reason, just want the rosemary on there, and I didn't want, I'm going to do it this way, and I'll show you here in a minute. I didn't want to do loose rosemary. I am then going to use rice. Now, I'll tell you a little funny superstition, maybe not funny to everybody, but there's a superstition about rice in some cultures, And one is, as you know, rice is a food. So this can be kind of a, an offering to the spell, to this little releasing protection thing, candle. And I'm just adding some rice. But the superstition is that evil spirits, they thought that evil spirits were obsessed with counting, like counting numbers, etc. They were obsessed. So they would use rice like around their front door, their windowsills, etc. Because the spirits would be so distracted by counting the grains of rice, they'd be so distracted that they would forget to come in. I think that's cute. Okay, so now I have my rice, and let's see. Okay, that's good. Now I'm using my orange. I'm using, here we go, with what is going to seem weird to you, possibly. This is black sand, not salt, it's black sand. Now I am going to go clockwise. Why am I using black sand? It's kind of hard to do this position when black is about releasing. Well, if witches wear a lot of black, and a lot of our, our swords and our athames and stuff like that are black to absorb, it absorbs the energy. It's not that I want to absorb the negative energy, but you'll see. But it is a type of absorption. Can't say it. Okay. Now I have, this is orange peel. So I had oranges not too long ago, and I dried the peels. And oranges, again, it is for all those things that I said. It's for the success and luck and all things good. And, oh my gosh, it smells so good. Okay, orange peel. And now I'm going to, and my lavender, my lavender. I'm going to do the same thing with the lavender as I did with the rosemary. I'm just doing, I'll go ahead and use that one, 4s. I don't know why I wanted to do 4, but usually I work in 3s. All right, there's 4. Okay, now what I'm going to do, oops, this has to go like this. What I'm going to do is I am going to open the door . I'm using chicory root, which is a road opener. That goes from one circle to the other, because I'm trying to guide the right energies to me. I'm trying to guide them. I'm trying to, I've opened a door of this bubble, this protection bubble, or this releasing bubble. It has to have some place to release. If I have a bubble around it, there's in me personally, I don't feel like there's a way for it to release. There's no place for it to go. It stays enclosed in this bubble. So I created uh, items around my candle, which is my dressing, around my candle that correspond with distracting the rice, distracting those energies that aren't serving. The Angelica root helps with protection so that there is a door open, but I'm still protected, but I'm not sealed off, if that makes sense. And then your rosemary is good for purification. Um, I want to make sure that this space stays cleansed and pure. This one, I've got my black sand. It absorbs the energy. So whatever it is that I'm releasing, the black absorbs the energy to turn it around with this, the orange of the candle, the orange of the oil, the orange peel, to so that I can turn that energy into something more positive. And in return, and then I have my lavender, which helps keep you calm while you're doing that, because it's, you know, you're going to want to stay calm and relaxed and centered and focused. And then your chicory root is what opens the doors. And so there is a pathway from the positivity going over here to the releasing to help release that in a positive manner. And anything that you're trying to release, that you're trying to let go of because it is not serving of your highest good, you are releasing that into this positive area that is going to help, you know, clear and cleanse. You could even use some of the rosemary over here if you wanted for that purification, that type of thing. So this is how I like to do my releasing spells. Now, one of the things, because I am opening a door, when I do road openers, I work with Ganesha, by the way, and so I have little Ganesha statues. Oh my goodness. This is a brass one, and then I use, this one is quartz, and I use that one to just put there to kind of help with that energy. I call on them, Ganesha, for that energy to open the doors easily so that we can get from one place to the other with no disruption. We can be safe about it, etc. And again, you know, we're just trying to guide the right energies along this path, so that it serves you. Um, yeah. So now the outcome, as you know, of any spell work can work in you know, it can work well, but it doesn't always work, or so people will say, or you may think that it didn't work. But here's the thing: if you know that regardless of this outcome, whether it works this time or it doesn't work this time, or maybe you still need some more work on it, that's fine too. But it's so that you know that you're going to be okay regardless of the outcome. So you want to make sure that you use some words or whatever that you like to use in your spell work for to include that, you know, your intention. I'm letting go of that which doesn't serve me, but I'm sending it over to this pure, positive place of joy and comfort and success and luck. And in return, I'm sending that energy to help release this negative way of seeing things and looking at things. One of the other things that you can add to it that I have done before is I've used dandelion root, because dandelion is really good for calling in spirits or your ancestors, whatever. Tobacco is another thing that I might, add around the whole base of my tray. One of the really good things I was going to add and I forgot is these are seeds, and I want to plant the seeds, and so I do like to put over here on this side to plant the seeds of that positivity. And if you felt that you could use the seeds on the other area, you could do so. But remember, this is the side of positivity, of success, of luck, all of that. And this is your releasing, letting go of. As far as protection goes, though, you can see that I do not have a protection shell around the whole thing. I need the energy to move. I need it to flow. So you can use cinnamon if you need it to move a little bit quickly. This is my tobacco. So, if you want something to move a little bit faster, you can go ahead and use cinnamon. I'm just using tobacco around the edge because that is what I use for the ancestors. I'm not going to put it on the spell itself, though. And so that's it. You can write out intentions if you want on bay leaves. I'm not big on that, but you can. You can burn them if you want, but I don't feel the need to. And then all you're going to do is light your candles. I'm not going to do that right now because I have the heater on. This is gonna make this sounds silly. I have the heater on, but I have the ceiling fan is right above me to kind of move the heat around, and it's blowing all my papers and everything away. So that is kind of what I wanted to show you, is that and you could use a purple candle as opposed to the black, because purple is spirit. It's that divinational energy, so intuitive energy. You could use it for that. Whatever colors you decide that you want to use. I used orange instead of white. I know a lot of people will do a white candle for that, bringing in the positivity and all of that. And yet I still see them putting white salt circles around their candle, their positivity candle. And my feeling on that is, I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong. Please, I'm not saying it's wrong, but they'll do like you'll do like the complete circle of white salt around it, which is purification and all of that, and I get that. But at the same time, that salt is a boundary, and I really don't want the boundaries. I want there to be communication. I want to be able to see and work with that energy. When I'm releasing it, I want to release it, and I want there to be a door open so that it does have someplace to go, and hopefully it goes along the path that I've laid with the chicory root, into my positive success energy that I've created over here, so that the entire energy becomes a little more positive, less toxic. I think that we have the ability to change that energy, to change the way that we think about things. Yes, things happen to us. They happen to us on a daily basis almost, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we can't change that energy into something more positive. How can we change that around to, it's just like this. Someone had this happened, I don't know, last month, I think it was around, it was before the holidays, but a customer had come in and mentioned something about, they had a flat tire. I think this and that, and they wanted, that protection. They wanted something for protection because they felt like it was a new tire, new tires, and it was coming from somebody, some outside force. And they were so like negative and just that toxic energy. They weren't negative, but it was just that, bringing in that toxic energy. And I just said to them, however, we can look at it this way. Yes, you did. You had a flat tire, and that's, I'm really, really sorry that that happened. The good news is you had your cell phone that got a signal, which mine doesn't right now, got a signal, and you were able to call the AAA or whatever it is, the tow truck guy, and he came and he fixed your tire. There was no charge, and on you went around your merry days. So the outcome was positive. But it was still worrying about that toxic, that toxic energy. Turn that around, turn that around. And here was the end result of that. She actually thanked me because she hadn't thought about that. So she was grateful. The end result and the lesson was, well, that happened. It happens to everybody. We all get flat tires. We all stub our toes. Things happen, but we're able to turn that energy around. And, you stub your toe. Okay, ow, that hurt. What can I do so that doesn't happen again? I cannot leave the chair pulled out from the table. Next time I'm going to push the chair in, things like that, so that we can have a more creative, successful thing. So that is it. That's my out of the box lesson on releasing and receiving. There needs to be a door. There needs to be a way for one to move into the other. And if you're just doing a releasing, uh, and you don't want to set up a thing like that, have that door open. You have to have a door for the positivity to come in. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. All right. So that was today. And I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said last week, I'm glad to be back. Super excited. And so anyway, yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week and have a great year. And I'm going to see you soon. Bye, guys.